You know what time it is. Perch Prime!
All right, Troy, it's Perch Prime pre-playoff preview, week 13, still hungover from the Power Hour last week. First topic, we got transaction, Tyler. We got the commission. We got G1. First topic, we got to talk about those Browns. They're 8-3.
8-3, baby. Had to give up a lot this year to get the Browns to 8-3, but it's worth it so far. Pigs are flying somewhere. Love it.
You mean like COVID? You everything is shitty in 2020, but the Browns are 8-3.
Everything that's shitty in 2020 is because the Browns are 8-3. That's the only.
That's about a 2020.
People always say, "Yeah, pigs are gonna fly when them Browns get to the playoffs." Well, pigs are flying somewhere because we're fucking on our way.
I wouldn't doubt it with all aliens and shit.
Jaguars game was a real ugly win. I mean, not ugly win. It was actually a good team win. They went through a lot of things towards the end of the game and actually just pulled it out. I mean, and you got to get a couple wins like that before you get to the playoffs, get you a little warmed up for it. Even though it was the Jags, 2-point win, as Cam Newton once said last week, hey, an ugly win is a lot better than a pretty loss.
That's right. Finally, some decent weather for the Browns. They still won. They beat one of the worst teams in the NFL. They got the Titans this week. It's supposed to be decent weather again. Big test.
Big game, big test. It's going to be our first football team, like full football team that we've played in the last couple of weeks. So this will be a great test for us. Derrick Henry is a monster. We'll see if our linebackers can tackle. Someone's got to tackle. I mean, someone's got to tackle the guy. And I like how
is Myles Garrett playing?
Myles Garrett is playing. Thank God he's off the act. I mean, our defense is a whole different defense when Myles Garrett plays. But Derrick Henry, this guy, I love how A.J. Brown gave the how to tackle Derrick Henry tutorial. Did you guys see that?
I did not.
It was pretty funny. It was a TikTok or whatever, and he's like, he's gonna hit you with the stiff arm, so you gotta get that shit down, and then you gotta go for the lay. Like, it was hilarious, but like, I don't know why he was giving the tutorial before the Browns played him, because all the Browns players watched him for sure. So we know how to tackle him now.
We know, yeah. You guys know A.J. Brown is the man. I lumped these four teams together this week. We got the Bengals, the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Bears. They all suck. Trav, you're not a fan of any of these teams. Can you rank them? Bengals, Eagles, Cowboys, Bears.
Bears number one.
Number one. They've lost 5 in a row.
The Bears?
Yep.
Yeah, but the truth is back, so I'm not really too worried. Okay. And then I'm going to go Cowboys, Eagles, Bengals.
I'm sure the Eagles fans are cawing right now. They're not very happy with those rankings.
Caw, $25. Caw.
Okay. Next, we got the Dolphins. They beat the Jets, the team they're supposed to beat. They may win the AFC East. They play the Bills in Week 17.
Not a chance.
It could be an AFC East on the line. Bills, Dolphins.
Is only one team gonna get that? Is that the winner? Is the only gonna be the only one from the in the playoffs?
Possibly, looking like it.
Looking like it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Dolphins have 7 wins, don't they? I think so.
So I mean, games coming up though.
And you never know. They might still add that last playoff team, but the way the NFL is going, they're going to play the games as they're scheduled. They're not going to miss any games this year.
Dolphins made the biggest mistake pulling Fitzpatrick after he was having a pretty good start to the year. It threw the whole team's mojo off. I mean, you bring in a new quarterback, everyone's chemistry is thrown off.
They've only lost 1 game during the Tua era.
Sure. I mean, yeah, you're right. But that defense.
Hey, real quick, do you see Trav right now? I cannot.
Yeah, I see Trav.
Oh, wow. I don't see him on my screen.
I'll be back.
The Dolphins do still play the Chiefs, I saw today. All right, the Bucks, they took a big L to the Chiefs. How was the backdoor cover of the year, Tyler?
Well, it actually turned out to not be the backdoor cover of the year. There was 2 games after that had crazy backdoor covers. Yeah, the Bucks, man, they got it together late. I think the Chiefs showed a weakness there. They really let them back in. Yeah, it sucked. I was very fucking pissed. But then you had Seattle covering that spread the whole time until the very end of the game. And then we had Pittsburgh covering the spread until Baltimore fucking covered it. Like, those are three huge backdoors. Wide open.
Baltimore should have done more than cover that. They probably should have won that game because that was real controversial at the end of the first half. All those Pittsburgh players were just laying on all the Ravens players, not letting them get up. The Zebras didn't throw a flag. They let the time tick for probably 10 seconds. They could have got another playoff. You got the NFL needs to flag that shit more often. That's good.
Yeah. I think the rules should be changed, but nobody's getting those players off in the middle of the game. Like, there's way more time wasted if that play happens in the middle of the first quarter. Like, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Right, no one rushed them.
If Lamar Jackson is in that game, in that situation, they give them the flag and they let them have another play. Just saying.
So it was backdoor weekend for Thanksgiving. And speaking of backdoors, how's Amber back there?
I don't know. Hey, how's your back door? She's getting nails out of the wall right now. So the back door is good.
Okay.
Reading in my man cave. Can you believe that? She's reading in my man cave with the Browns 8-3. I mean, any normal person would probably be like, "You're not fucking touching anything in here. We're 8-3." She's redoing the whole fucking thing. So if the Browns fuck up and have a downward spiral this season, that's not on me.
All right. Pat Miller's Lions. They fired coach Matt Patricia. I mean, is there any sorrier franchise than the Lions?
Get your ass back to New England, Matt. No, I don't think there is. And when your best player, Calvin Johnson, doesn't want anything to do with the team, you know you're a pretty terrible organization.
They are. They're something else. Tyler, you keep coming in and out. I have not seen much COVID this week until I saw Matt Breida for the Dolphins. He's on the COVID list now. Has there been?
That's okay.
This guy Miles Gaskin carries this year. Why would you even bring him up?
Miles Gaskin is in that backfield, and he is vital to the zero running back squad this week.
Hopefully they're not homies.
Yeah, well, they're in the same running back room, so I sure hope they haven't been swapping spit. Anything else on COVID this week? I haven't seen a ton. After last week where we had the biggest COVID week, I haven't seen a ton this week.
This week, though, in Findlay, Ohio, I've had 3 accounts shut down this week and multiple others shut down for a couple days due to multiple people testing positive for COVID. It's pretty scary. I mean, a lot of places are shutting down, and the business isn't booming very much for the restaurants right now. I can tell you that. But when you shut 3 down, it helps other ones out just a little bit more.
Is the movie theater open in Findlay?
I don't know. Is the movie theater open?
It was, but you had to wear a mask, and I'm not sure about it yet lately.
Not sure.
I heard that's going to be like they're just going to shut down so many movie theaters. I was hearing that today.
I heard they have the tools to make them. They have tools to make them drive to theaters, but they don't want to do it.
All right. Yeah, we better pick up the energy after the COVID talk. Trav, do you have a theory on these metal monoliths they're calling?
No idea. I just seen pictures of them. They're metal things that apparently have reappeared, and disappeared. But apparently there's also a video of people taking it down. So,
did you see what they were made of?
No.
So they're made of sheet metal and wood. It's sheet metal around a piece of plywood. They took it apart. So people are just fucking putting them down.
Are you sure, Trav, they're not from underground? Isn't that what you believe? The aliens are actually underground?
They all coming up. Aliens using sheet metal and plywood underground.
Put them up, and they bring them down.
Aliens have a monorail system underground that connects, they had 180 underground bases apparently in 1984. And
imagine how much there are now.
This monorail system apparently made the bullet train look like a baby back bitch because it was ran off of magnetics
Wow. So
there's aliens. There's 34 different types. Why else would the Canadian Prime Minister come out and say yeah, we know of 36 alien species or some shit like that?
50 years ahead of Elon Musk and his little underground subway adventure.
There's a reason Elon Musk is giving away like all material things because he knows the truth and he's like, wow, there's like, my hands are fucking tied here. There's nothing I can do, and he feels helpless. I'm sure.
Damn.
They're coming from underground. Okay.
Someday, maybe this is the year. This could be the year. End of 2020. We're talking December 29th. We might get some UFO sightings and some rays coming down on us. Who knows? Wouldn't be surprised.
All right, Kiesler, it's that time of week. It's the weekend review.
The weekend review.
Yes, weekend review, whichever way you want to hear it come out of my mouth.
So are we reviewing like the weekend?
No, it's the matchups.
Normal bit. It's your normal bit.
You need to do the previous week reviews.
I'm not saying all that. I say weekend review.
Weekly review.
And Kiesler will determine what I say, however his ears feel it that week.
I like it.
All right, Trev, it's you. Weekend review.
All right. Well, we're going to start off with the worst, like we always do. Last week review. No, that's my team, once again. Deshaun is still well and alive, especially after another 40-point game. Not only did Jayfer's quarterback put up 40 points, Will Fuller, the guy he traded for, Amari Cooper for Will Fuller, everyone thought, oh my God, Ferg robbed this guy blind. And then the dude went out 6 games. He had a PED suspension or something like that. And Fuller's gone. Cooper's playing football.
Ball don't lie, baby. Ball don't lie.
But, I'm glad that Fuller was able to have a 40-point game against me before he did leave the NFL, because that's just the whole damn year in a nutshell for me. I get curb stomped by Ferg, the back-to-back champ, 162-119. Next up, we had a juicy one between RIP ODB and Findlay football team. It started with Nato flexing on his flex. This was a shot heard round the world. I still don't know what it means, but if it means what I think it means, he was talking about Russell Gage and his flex with 6.4 points. And Pat didn't have much else in his flex either, so technically Nato did flex on his flex. He had Pittman there with 4.8 points over one of the best wide receivers in the league, Jarvis Landry, sitting on his bench with 33 points. I thought Pat lost this game because he didn't start Jarvis. That's why I was giving him so much shit. Turns out Pat won this game. David Montgomery, highest score of the season, 30.3 points, Pat gives him the Derrick Henry stiff arm, moves a little bit closer towards the playoffs, 117-106. Some say Rail's dick got 3 inches bigger after pulling off another upset last week over Tyler. This tremendous, overrated Oliver's Heroes team.
Thank you. I agree.
The people aren't a fan of his team name either, I guess. Mike. I don't know what's wrong with his team name, but Mike's got a problem with it.
Oliver, I'm assuming he doesn't know that you have a son named Oliver. It's crazy. Probably met him.
Apparently not.
Giving him birthday presents.
Yeah. Come on.
Right? Kirk fucking Cousins, though. Outscored Aaron Rodgers. That's why I love fantasy football.
Bro, so listen, I was looking at it, and Kirk Cousins had 19 points until 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and he got the bonus. And then I didn't start Juju because I was like, I'm not taking this fucking risk. Juju ends up with 17 points. Bro, there's a couple swings there, but yes, my team is fucking overrated. I should not be in the position I am.
Yeah, your record. You're you're the Haynes of this year. You are breezing.
The only thing is I have the 0.4 to support it, I guess. But I've definitely gotten good matchups per weekly basis. 100%.
Yeah, you really have. I mean, numbers wise.
Ferg has the least points against, so he might be
Rail with this one also. Amari Cooper had a hell of a game against you. Rail actually won the trade. Yep. Because Amari Cooper's playing football. He's going to be playing into the toilet bowl this year. It's going to be amazing. But Jonnu Smith, your prized possession on the year, Tyler, had a goose egg in this one. Not only a goose egg in this one, but he had 2 catches in the last 5 games. That's it. A rushing touchdown in one.
Yeah, he's hurt. He's hurt. he's been running routes to be a dummy. Like, he's been running dummy routes, I think. And I think they finally today were like, let's just rule him out because he's not even a dummy. Like, he's not even a decoy at this point.
Wow, it's that bad. I didn't know he was hurt that bad.
He's been so throughout the year. There's been questionable, like throughout the week, a few weeks here, a few weeks there. But like the guy's like out there running routes, and he's running a good percentage of routes. Yeah. And you're gonna tell me all of a sudden this touchdown yak guy coming up from last year is just a ghost.
AJ Brown. There's only enough room for one guy, and it's AJ Brown right now. Tyler's team blows 133-104. Sorry, Tyler.
I agree.
Go ahead. Breezing past Nemo right to the toilet bowl. Haynes' confidence did not pay off this year. He is not keeping his playoff streak alive. Some people say he never got off the fucking RV this year. He got on, he got trapped, some sort of crazy sci-fi movie. They gave us back a Haynes clone, and it's not Haynes. He's on the RV still.
So I'm going to butt in real quick because Haynes says he doesn't watch this shit. So I'm going to fucking say, last year, Haynes, even though you ain't going to listen, I made all this money off you guys betting with me. You guys just paid for this and paid for that. And then first week, I've been on an RV. Like, man, get the fuck out of here. You got lucky last year, bro. That's all I think about that.
The last 4 years. He's got
just because he doesn't watch.
Had a hell of a defense last year. Sorry, had to kill Spider right there.
No, you're good. I just wanted to say that because Haynes is like, I don't watch your hour videos, so I'm like, shit, I'm going to go in.
so Kier likes to talk shit. Kier attacked me. I mean, said something about the type of character I am or person I am because of trying to fight him after Troy's boxing match or something. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Kier, I hope you don't watch this shit either, but if you do, go fuck yourself, all right, buddy? I'll take you anytime fresh, just to let you know that. And you had Alvin Kamara and Miles Sanders score 6.2 points. That is shit.
So
sucks with that hill.
Yeah, Alvin Kamara, the Saints I saw a tweet, and it was like the Saints have literally sacrificed Alvin Kamara to have Taysom Hill as their quarterback.
Yeah.
They're winning, but yeah.
A different type of football. When Robbie Anderson's your highest scorer, you suck. Haynes is breezing to the toilet. 125-92. The best quarterback battle of the week. The greatest show in Perch had Derek Carr put up a whopping -3 points. Zero RBs. Jared Goff actually went positive with 0.1 points. Congratulations on winning that.
Will made that trade to get Jared Goff. Jared Goff past 4 games, he has 3 games over 100 or over 300 yards, 4 TDs, and 6 interceptions.
Not good.
He had 3. Didn't he have 3 interceptions last week? Aren't we cherry picking a bit?
Maybe.
He's a top 12 quarterback still after 0.1 points.
I think you have to Baker over him at this point.
And he is playing the Cardinals this week in a do or die match. And in the championship, he plays Seattle, which is the easiest matchup in the NFL.
Get out of here. Yeah, that's what I thought once upon a time. Good thing Will had Antonio Gibson with a 40 fry. But Will's team is no longer scary without Terry, 125-93. A lot of 40 fries this week. Wango Tango had one with his quarterback, was actually the highest quarterback scorer of the week with 45.8 points, Patrick Mahomes. Best pick Wango Tango made this year, probably the only good pick. But none of that matters. Mike channeled his inner Super Saiyan last week, and he gave this energy to Tyreek Hill right before the ball game. Tyreek Hill fucking exploded. 200 yards in the first quarter? What? He had a 70 seafood buffet. Mike's team carried him towards the playoffs, and they tuck him in each night before bed, and they wake him up each morning when he wakes up with a fresh cup of, hey, I'm your fantasy team. Mike, 180-141. Last, but never least, because we do the least first, because I'm the least always. The Hammer had a DK Metcalf spotting last week. Troy's team's only good when DK goes off. And when DK goes off, seems like Troy's whole fucking team goes off. He had Kenyon Drake spotting with a little bit. He had Terry Scary, which I think you're going to really regret trading him, sprinkled in. Squad Day Cool Cat looked anything but cool last week. this top team had Kyler Murray going against the Patriots, which isn't that good not the greatest of the defense, but he looked like shit. Hopkins looked like shit. Hopefully, Kyler Murray doesn't have a shoulder sprain or a shoulder issue that continues in the season. It could hurt Zach quite a bit. But he's got A-Rob and Jefferson, so not too worried about Kiesler's wide receivers. The man in first gets blown out of the water by the champ, 161 to 110. That's all I got, baby.
Seahawks play the Giants this week. That's going to be a big matchup for the Perch FL with Russell Wilson and DK Metcalf going against the Giants, who are supposedly having a pretty good defensive season. We will see.
That's what I've heard.
We will see how that plays out. Next up, comment. Oh, actually, we have Tyler. You went 3-4 last week. The computer went 2-5. Trav went 1-6. You have a party at your house. Who did you let make all your picks?
Jesus Christ.
Pat Miller, maybe. You go 1-6. Rick and Kiesler went 3-4. Comment of the week. We got the champ. He said, anyone know if Haynes is breezing to the ship still?
That was good. No, that was.
He doesn't watch.
That deserves a fucking Emmy Award or a Golden Globe or some shit. That shit was fucking spectacular.
That it did. Honorable mention, Kier thinking he could beat up Jake Paul, and the comments thereafter that ensued.
Like, listen, all right. Like, I get where people are saying that. I'm not saying Jake Paul is gonna be able to compete with a professional boxer, but he's been training for 2 years, so he's definitely gonna beat an in-shape basketball player that's his size that's never boxed. Like, Nate Robinson could beat up Kier, I'm thinking. Like, no, sorry, Kier, no offense to you, but Nate Robinson is cut. He's lean. He fucking trained. He's a professional fucking athlete. Like, he got dropped by a guy who's been training for 2 years in a ring in his back fucking yard with a professional or with a Hall of Fame boxer. Like, come on, we're talking.
Nate Robinson is made of. I mean, he might be a basketball player, but the dude's made of fucking stone. I mean,
yeah, he would whoop our asses. Like, Nate Robinson
would fuck out of anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably pick.
Is not that much between him and Nate Robinson and Kier either.
You don't think
Robinson's 5'9". Nate Robinson's 5'9". Kier's probably 6.
And Nate Robinson's cut and lean and he's been training. Like, I don't.
I'll bet any two Perch FL people could not beat up Nate Robinson. I'll bet Nate Robinson would beat up any two Perch LF. I mean, I think that.
No offense, Mike, but he's probably going to be quicker and, like.
He's hitting Mike right in the nose, and Mike's going to howl.
I would love to see that fight. All right, transaction Tyler. I got to get some water for a child.
Get that water.
We'll start out with the bets. Because our last bet's getting a little interesting. We're going to hit the first two unimportant ones first. Gwill versus Haynes. Gwill takes a game lead on Haynes, so I'm not even going to talk about points. I think Gwill's up on points. Trav, Rick, I think your guys' bet is pretty much solidified. There's only one. But, all right, let's talk about the bet of the year. Nick Chubb versus Ezekiel Elliott. Rushing yards. Chubb, 719. Zeke, 707.
Woo!
Chubb,
yeah!
15 games. Zeke, before last week, had a 100-yard game. And it was looking like, okay, Zeke, if you can be yourself somewhat, this bet's not going to look terrible. But Nick Chubb just said, nope, I'm going to fucking come back. God damn.
Well, I think this is when I ask Will, what were you thinking?
There's still the Cowboys' schedule gets nice and juicy right now. We'll see what happens.
Oh, it's been juicy the whole fucking year.
So couple trades. Yeah, we talked about last week. Funny, Will, you and Kiesler made a trade, Matt Breida for Deebo Samuel. Like, I don't know why you gave Kiesler another weapon for a guy that's not even going to play. Like,
he played last week. He was the starter for the Dolphins last week. I needed a starter. I needed to win.
How'd he do?
He didn't do shit. But still, I needed a starter. You never know. Could have had a bad week.
Debo is very involved in the offense, which it's in hindsight. It's hindsight, you know. I mean, I'm sitting here saying this, but
he's hurt again.
But Debo is a weapon.
Debo that week too, so it wasn't like I was.
Let's look at Zach's wide receivers without D-Hop, A-Rob, Jefferson, Debo. Fucking kidding me? Who's gonna stop him? Who's gonna stop him?
Dude,
like
the Cardinals have been bad. The Cardinals have been bad. If they keep being bad, Kiesler won't go anywhere.
He's got Swift coming back with a new coach.
That's true. That hurts.
Yeah, Swift. Who was it? I saw Adrian Peterson said though, like Swift hasn't been like normal since his concussion or something.
He hasn't been himself. I
guess.
But
then that comment came out in the media, and then Swift got cleared from the concussion protocol. Like right after those. So like I saw on Twitter like Adrian Peterson says this, and then however few minutes later or whatever, Swift's off the concussion protocol. Like I'm like, what the fuck I don't even know what to think. Like
then he was like ruled out already. So
yeah. So yeah, we had last week. We didn't get to talk about on Prime. It happened after. I think Mike traded Mike Evans and the Bears defense to Couchot for a bunch of Mikes. Mike traded Mike and the Bears for Mike Davis and Jacoby Myers. That's I don't, you know, Mike Davis is
right.
Who the fuck is Jacoby
Myers? Jacoby Myers is what it is now.
Yeah, Jacoby Myers is that Patriots receiver that came on and like Cam likes him, so I mean he's definitely the receiver to have there. Couchot has been waiting to fucking make a trade. He had all these running backs. He's got these guys. Like, he has been just trying to get a trade, and no one's been biting, which I'm surprised because he's had guys like Gio Bernard, who was starting for weeks, Mike Davis, who was starting for weeks. God damn, I feel like he's got like two. Who else was it? I can't remember, but like, dude, he's been really trying to.
Couchot and Pat are both pretty stingy with their trades. Like they'll act like they'll trade you, and then they'll look at it, and then they'll be like, yeah, I'm pretty good. Like, they don't trade.
Mike's offering him a decent pair for Aaron Jones, but I think Couchot needs to win this week because if Couchot wins this week, he has a chance at the bye, and if he gets the bye, then he gets healthy. But if he doesn't get healthy, I think he's going to lose first round in the playoffs because he's not healthy right now.
Not at all.
See, I'm in the same boat. I need to beat Pat so I can get the bye and try to figure out what the fuck my team's gonna be.
We got it all. We got it all
so,
next. Playoff
I don't think it's gonna happen. Mike made a comment. I used my waiver pick for George Kittle. You know what? I have nothing to lose picking up Kittle. There's talk that I don't think he's gonna come back, but I had nothing to lose at this point in the season. Hey, if I get there and Kittle's there, Jonnu Smith isn't, I'm gonna start him.
George Kittle's one of like the Spartans off the field.
I don't think he'll play. I don't think there's reason for him to come back. I don't, but
if he plays this year, he is on my list of I will never draft in my entire life again. It'll be OBJ and it'll be George Kittle. Those two will sit next to each other no matter if they fall to the last round of the draft. I will not draft those sons of bitches.
That is completely false. I will hold you to that, actually.
I will not. I will never draft OBJ, and I will never.
In the last round,
if he comes back, this year, if he fucks me and comes back,
you'd be tickled to death to get OBJ in the last round. Can we get to the elephant in the room though about the trade, like the trade?
Yeah. Let's. We're ready.
Lead it off. I want to hear it out of someone else's mouth first before.
So it's kind of funny that this happened today. I thought it was almost like too perfect a coincidence. Late last night, I was just laying in bed, and Chad Smith had a status. He's like, "Fantasy people, what do you think about this? This guy's has 2 wins, and he's trading this guy who's in the playoffs." And he's just like, "I want people's opinions." And I was like, if someone's mathematically eliminated from the playoffs and they're not fighting for a last place punishment or a toilet bowl, I was like, you should ask for your money back and not be in that league anymore. We talked about it on the thing. I think everyone knows. I think Troy is trolling to an extent. There was no reason. The trade would have it was just like at a point, do this trade 3 weeks ago, man. Like, shit.
Like, yeah, do it when you're still in contention. Rick, you have nothing to play for. You have no reason to trade for Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell isn't shit. Like,
Well,
Chark is healthy.
Chark's the number 1 wide receiver.
He's got an illness. He's gonna play, right? Like, illness. Friday illness.
So I declined the trade. I pulled in a Domino's today, and I was like, ooh, a trade. Let me look at my phone real quick. Looked at it, saw it was a non-contender with a contender. After last week I talked about I'm not letting fucking non-contenders trade with contenders. I said it in the chat. I said it on Prime. I'm a man of my word. I stick to my word. I stuck to my word, and I hit the fucking decline button because a person that's not in the playoffs should not be trading a person that's in the playoffs or in contention towards the playoffs. It's the integrity of the fucking league. And if you guys don't fucking get that shit, and if you want to be a little crybaby bitch about it, there's the fucking door. You don't have to play in this fucking league next year. I'm sick of getting attacked by you motherfuckers, and y'all jumped on me, you stabbed me, you fucking shredded me like a wolf, and no one came to my rescue. Quill came a little bit, and then later I finally had Mike come to my fucking rescue because he knows I'm just, and I am right.
You know what's crazy? And this is from me. Is that shit was popping off so fast, I couldn't even keep up. And that's saying something, man. I was like looking at it, and I'm like, shit. And then by the time I wanted to say something, there was already, I'd get back in GroupMe, and it would say, my phone's slow, obviously. I have the iPhone 5. I get back, and there was
back to blaming the phone again.
More messages. And I'm like, damn, is this really going this far? But like, so what Rick and Haynes were saying, like, oh, it's in the rules. But like, dude, we made the rules. Like, it's
I made the fucking rules. Therefore, you listen to me, you stupid fucks. Like, what is your deal?
When you're mathematically, and you guys aren't even competing for the corner spot anymore. It's not like Rick's gonna lose and be on the corner. So he's not playing for anything. He doesn't.
No reason for
Rick. I'm sorry.
Going out, trying to make trades other than just trying to stir up shit. That's all Rick's doing. And
no consolation bracket, so Rick is truly playing for nothing. So.
Yeah.
I think it was the right choice. I was hiking when it was all going down. I saw a lot of messages. I haven't even gone back and read them all, but
I got fired up, man. I was fired up. I hate it when people fucking whine like little 8th grade fucking schoolgirls. I can't stand it.
Mike knows, you put too much pressure on the commissioner, things can happen, and that's not what we want to ever happen.
And I have too much fun. I have too much fun giving you guys shit and doing this, but I fucking really do try to make this the best league in the world. Yeah, I had some hiccups. The snake draft didn't go off. I didn't check the fucking draft date.
Make shit work.
Yeah, we make shit fucking work. It's
so
it's 2020.
Kind of funny that that poll got put up, and as a joke, I had just seen the poll, and I voted the one way, and then it got the screenshot of the poll got posted, and it was tilting towards the wrong way. So I went back and like changed my vote because I didn't think anyone was going to be voting for that. And I'm like, I do not want this trade to go through. So I went back and changed it, and then it was tied. And then shortly after that, the no trade was ahead by a vote or two. Like, it was hilarious. I was just voting as a joke, and I'm like, holy shit! I hope no one takes this seriously. Change.
How about the pettiness of the actual text in the vote? Pretty amazing.
It's currently tied.
It wasn't a fair poll. It
was not. And I'm sure, that was Wango Tango. I thought it might be Couchot because he likes to stir up trouble as well, but I guess.
Some people are just, salty and bitter right now, and that's fine. Holidays are coming up, and we don't need that shit. We don't need shit like that.
Football too, Trav. Like, as well. You just had the tough 2 last weeks of realizing you're last place. I mean, it's tough for some.
Yeah, and the fact that like people want to bitch at me about shit, and I'm in last fucking place, like it makes me want to smack you. It really does. Like, shut the fuck up, play the game, be happy you're not getting a tattoo or standing on the corner.
Well, I did power rankings, which I'll get to at the end, but a little sneak preview for you, Trav. For the rest of the year, the power rankings for the computer system, you are number 4 team. Number 4, last in the standings and on the corner officially.
Number 4?
Number 4, power ranking for the rest of the year.
I have a solid team. I'm the best team to ever get last. It's so fucked up.
I asked Mike to roast my team the other day because, man, like, If I didn't get Aaron Rodgers and James Robinson, I'd be on the corner right now. Let's think about that. Let's think about that. I'm starting Jerry Jeudy, Juju Smith. Fucking man, it's gross.
Well,
I've got 5 rookies and shit.
If Dak Prescott and George Kittle were still playing, this league would be a different league. All right. Time for the playoff possibilities. Okay. I broke it all down here. Number 1, and who has the number 1 bye? Kiesler. Kiesler essentially has the number 1 bye. The only way he could lose it is if he loses, Ferg wins, and Ferg outscores him by 130 points. So Kiesler is locked in to the number 1 spot for the playoffs.
He's got most points for too, right?
Yes. And I think maybe almost least points against. So perfect combination. 9-3 Kiesler. There are 3 teams for the second bye. 8-4 Ferg, 8-4 Tyler, 8-4 Couchot. So obviously these people are rooting for the other people to lose and them to win. They would get that bye. Ferg has the point lead. Tyler second, and then Couchot third. Tyler and Couchot would need Ferg to lose or outscore him by, Tyler needs to outscore him by 20, or Couchot needs to outscore him by 25. So that's the top 4 spots. The top 4 spots will be Kiesler, Ferg, Tyler, and Couchot. Now, 5 and 6 is where it gets interesting. We have 5 people fighting for 2 spots.
Yeah.
Right now, number 5 is Troy. He is 7-5. He also has the least points for among the 5 teams. Ooh. I think Pat actually has less. Pat has less, but Mike, Will, and Nato all have more than Troy. So Troy needs to win and he's in, or Troy can lose and he would need an L from Mike. 2 of the 3, Mike, Will, or Nato. So Troy either needs to win or he can lose, but he would need a loss from Mike, Will, or Nato, 2 of those 3 people.
Nato's not winning this week. Put that on your calendar.
Mike is in the 6th spot. The rest of these teams are 6 and 6. Mike is in the 6th spot. Mike needs to win, and he's in, unless Will outscores him by 45 points. The Tyreek Hill 70 points was so important to this league. It has put a huge advantage for Mike. So Mike needs to win. If Mike wins, he's in. Unless I outscore him by 44 or Nato outscores him by 66, which is not going to happen.
Mark my words, Scary Terry or Deebo Samuel might be the difference in that point differential right there.
Did you this reminded me, I forgot to say this. Scary Terry related. This is off topic. But
not really.
So Scary Terry, new nickname, Matthew Berry's trying to take. Do you see this? Matthew Berry's trying to take credit. He said, I don't want to hear McLaren F1 or Scary Terry said he's scary. Or Terry McScorin.
Terry McScorin. Terrible, Matthew Berry.
Terrible.
The Washington football team plays the Pittsburgh Steelers this week. The best defense. So take it as you will. Mike also could lose, but he would need Nato and me to lose as well. Okay. For Gwil, I would make the playoffs if I win and Mike or Troy lose. Or I can outscore Mike by 44.8 points if he wins and I win. If I lose, I'm out. Nato needs to win, and Mike and Gwil need to lose, or he could just have Mike lose and outscore me by 20. Gets a little complicated there, but mostly Nato needs to win, and me and Mike both need to lose.
That is
I'm playing Nato without his best player, Ronald Jones, so I don't think it's going to happen.
Last but not least, Pat Miller, the lowest in points for, could still make the playoffs at 6 and 6. If he wins, and Mike, me, and Nato all lose, Pat Miller makes the playoffs with the least amount of points for. That leaves Haynes, Rail, Kier, Rick, and Travis are out of the playoffs Trav gets last place. So that is your playoff possibilities. Some big games this week.
Huge. This is going to be a great weekend of football. I love it.
And we have 3 days, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
What's on Tuesday?
Cowboys-Ravens are on Tuesday.
What the fuck? They love scratching the Ravens' dick, don't they? What the fuck?
And if you think Lamar was out, well, might want to think again when the Cowboys' defense comes to town. I mean, they are not very good against the run, and all the Ravens do is run.
Is Lamar out?
I don't know. No, I mean, as I'm saying, he hasn't been good all year, but he could be great this week.
Oh, absolutely. MVP caliber. Start Marquise Brown. Never know. But, hey, Marquise Brown getting his first touchdown from that white boy, not Lamar Miller or Lamar Jackson.
All right, let's move on. I need to find a pen. Let's move on to the matchups of this week.
Do it. I'm acing this one since Pat's not fucking picking for me.
I have to find a pen first.
I got one.
You would. Okay. You want me to go through them? First up, we have. Do you know who Game of the Week is, Trav?
I'm gonna grab a beer real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
All right. First up, we have Gwill versus Ferg. Who do you got there?
Well, here. A second. I think I'm gonna have to take Will here.
Tyler? All right. Computer analysis likes Gwill 71% of the time.
Mm-hmm. Who's it against again?
Gwill Ferg.
This is your time to shine, Gwill. You've been chomping at the bit. You've got a good team. I'll take you.
Everyone's on Gwill. That probably means a loss. Before we get to that, I want to talk about the year predictions before we get through all these. Trav, you're at 47-37. 47 wins. Tyler is at 43-41. 43 wins. 4 behind Trav. 4.
Damn it, Trav.
Catch up. I want to pick against him a little bit today. And then the computer is at 37-47. Locked in for last place.
What the fuck, Trav?
Fuck that computer.
Next up,
that projections and computers don't mean shit.
Well, I think the problem is maybe that we do Perch Prime on a Wednesday and people don't set their lineups till Saturday. So we'll see a little later.
I don't know if you guys ever noticed this, but people play games with their lineups. They'll put they'll put players in to make you think that they're gonna play them. I know it's
all week.
There's people that if they're trying to trade someone, they put them in their starting lineup, so you think that they are high on them. There's a lot of. You're right. Sunday morning is when the lineup is. I've done it.
The computer analysis Sunday mornings, it might be a little different. Pat versus Tyler is the second matchup.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Pat's got me, man. Pat's gonna come on late and put late in the season, I should say.
Is Michael Thomas playing?
Who?
Michael Thomas, he playing again?
I don't think it would matter though. Did he do much last week?
His matchups are good.
But I'm sitting again with Aaron Rodgers. Supposedly is a tough matchup. I don't think it's tough for him. It's up to Aaron Rodgers and James Robinson to carry me. I'm gonna get in the playoffs and I'm gonna have to hope to get those matchups, man. So I'm gonna take that.
Could have a big game from Juju too and A-Rod. Aaron Rodgers plays Philly, so you never know.
It's supposedly on ESPN a tough matchup. I'm like,
it's gonna be close. I'm gonna go with Pat.
You guys pick together the first 2 matchups. Tyler needs to make up 4 games still. All right, next matchup we have Trav versus Nato.
I'm going myself.
Nato, because I got to separate myself from Trav right here. Nato, do not let me down. You beat me every time. Now fucking, please, help my, whatever it is.
Number 14 here, coming in.
Computer analysis likes Pat 61% of the time, and then Travis 63% of the time.
Yeah, Trav's team again is kind of like Pat's. Like we've been talking about it, but like, fuck, like if we and Troy were gonna make that trade, I was like, Trav, I need Mostert, man. Like, let me hook.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm all about keeping the integrity of the
I know.
And if I wanted to start trading people today, no one would want to be in this league next year. So
I agree. A lot of rule changes next year. We know those are coming. Kier versus Rail.
Cleaning house next year. Kier versus Rail. Ooh, this is another good one. I think Rail's dick is so big from all these upsets. I think he's just going to keep rolling to end of the year. I think he's going to win here.
I'm going to take Kier.
Kier's highest scorer, Robbie Anderson, is on a bye. So definitely taking JP.
I'm thinking Alvin Kamara cannot just be non-existent. Josh Allen, it's really weird that he's not being talked about more. Like, the things he's done this year as like a fantasy quarterback is fucking wild. Like, I'll never guess that shit. He just gets points, man. He's a baller.
He was like, one of those quarterbacks outside the top 5 that you're like,
and Rail's out here like thinking Brandon Cooks is gonna be like his Will Fuller replacement or something. I don't know. He could.
Yeah, he definitely could. He's the only one fucking there.
Yeah.
Computer analysis says this is the beatdown of the week. Rail 77% of the time. Next up, we got Rick versus Haynes.
Wow, the battle of the two people who want to keep the trade.
The two people that it means nothing for that are really fighting to keep the trade channels open.
And listen to this. Hold on. Before you say anything, I'm looking at this right now. Do you see these projections? ESPN has Rick projected at 113.2 and Haynes at 113.4.
I see 107.2 for Haynes.
Really? I have. Yeah. Wow, that's weird. Ours are different.
That would be very interesting if your guys are different ESPN projections.
Whoever you pick, I'm going opposite, Tyler, so I'll give you that.
I'm taking Haynes.
All right.
I'm taking Derrick Henry after Thanksgiving. He already had his first after Thanksgiving game and did what he's supposed to do. I'm taking Derrick Henry to beat Rick.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't trust Rick's team. I'm sticking with Haynes, too.
All right, and the computer analysis Rick 66% of the time. Next up, we have Troy versus Couchot, another huge matchup for the 5 and 6 seed.
This is massive right here. I'll go ahead and pick this one first. I like the pickup of Benny Snell by Troy. Super sneaky, super good. I think he'll have a big game. Metcalf going, Wow, I can't believe I'm saying I got to go Troy. I got to go with the hammer, the champ.
Wait, when did Troy pick up Snell? Because he was owned last week. Because I went to look at him before the game. He was owned before.
Did he trade for Snell? No.
That's what I'm thinking.
Maybe he did. God, there's been so many trades, I don't fucking know.
Right. Who'd you go with, Trev?
I'm going to go with the hammer, Troy.
You know what? I'm going to play it like this. I want the hammer to win. That helps me out in the playoffs if I win. Man, Cooper Kupp coming off that game, but eyeliner man, Derek Carr. Fuck. I'll go with Couchot, and hopefully that jinxes his ass like he wears his brown shit and jinxes that and shit.
He tries to, but that shit worked one week. Hasn't worked since.
I'm confused when he's a Browns fan and a Bears fan. I'm just saying.
Computer analysis like Troy 65% of the time.
Oh, man. Nice.
Harry McSoren.
This is the game of the week, boys. This is going to be – I want the best videos to come from this fucking game of the week. Squad Day Cool Cat and DeGurley Brady Bunch. I expect nothing but perfection from you guys. Make them good.
Dude.
Who are you picking?
So, off the top, I'll go first. I'm just thinking, like, you guys see – so, before Austin Eckler's injury, he wasn't, like, doing
right. –
and then he gets back, and he's fucking the guy all of a sudden. He's like the guy like last year. The guy Rail drafted him to be as early as he did. It was so fucking weird.
Will Josh Kelly get back into the mix this week is the question.
I thought about picking him up. I thought about picking him up because, yeah, like you're thinking, like, so when Heckler was healthy, Kelly was the goal line guy, and so I actually thought about that too. Man, so if Mike wins,
this is a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer for me.
I'm gonna go Mike.
I'm going Zach, and it's not close.
Okay. Well, I want it to be separated anyways. I gotta try to.
We gotta separate it.
Computer analysis likes Kiesler 57% of the time. If computer analysis and projections are correct, it'll be Troy and Gwill in the playoffs. Mike will go crying, possibly on suicide watch. We will see how this week plays out.
Good luck, boys.
We talked about the rankings for the year. There's 4 matchups here. There's a possibility for Tyler to tie. It's probably going to be a Trev win on the year predictions. Other things that I have here, computer power ranks. So I did this. I found this. I didn't even know this was available. I found the computer power rankings for the rest of the year. Number 1 is Kiesler.
No shit. He's unstoppable. Unless half his team catches COVID, no one's beating him.
Number 2 is Ferg. So we're right in line to where the playoffs are set to be as of now. Number 3 is actually Troy. Wilson to DK. Number 4, like we talked about before, is Travis Linhart on the corner. Number 4. Number 5 is Couchot. Number 6 is Gwill. Number 7 is Tyler. Number 8 is Nato. Number 9 is Haynes. Number 10 is Pat. Number 11 is Kier. And this is my favorite. Number 12 is Mr. Hessen. Coming in power rank. Number 12. My team's the best. Number 12 on the power rankings. You fucking bitch. Number 13, Mike, you are ahead of Rail and Rick. We'll give you that. You're ahead of Rail and Rick. Mike, number 12. Let's see how the week plays out and see where Mike ends up. Also, I'd like to just mention, we talked a little bit about history this week. In the non-keeper years, 2015, I was 1 game out of the playoffs. 2019, I was 1 game out of the playoffs. 2020, I may be 1 game out of the playoffs yet again. Every non-keeper year of this league, I've been 1 game out of the playoffs, so we will see how it plays out.
Tough.
It's very tough.
So I was
Oh, you know what's tough? The corner. Oh wait, I'm not going to the corner, so y'all can stop saying corner. I'm getting a tattoo.
Hey, why you drinking wine? Did I just now notice that? Before we go off, I was like trying to do something. I told you guys I wanted to like see point differential for trades, but anyways, I got into like on the desktop or on the computer version. You can I was looking back at history, and I want to say like it pains me to say it. Couchot has been one of the most consistently like top players in this league. I was looking at like top 3, and even like dude. It goes back to like 2016. He's been there like every fucking time. Like, I would like to. I know we have those stats, but I was just like more impressed with what he's done on a consistent basis than honestly. Like Haynes talks about being in the playoffs all these years, but as we know, he gets in with defense. So I was like, damn, Couchot's really fucking been there like every year. Every year he's in the conversation.
It seems like he's always in the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't think he gets enough credit. Like honestly,
it's been next week. We will be doing the awards, the Aaron Haynes Lucky Shoe Award. I don't know what other awards, but we'll be doing a lot of awards.
Biggest Crybaby Award. We got all sorts of awards we're gonna live.
Biggest Crybaby Award, most interesting award,
most trades.
I bet I'm a nominee.
Dumbest Trades Award. We got all sorts of awards.
Perch Prime Best Host Award. We got them all coming next week. So
bring the champagne too. Everyone has to have a bottle of champagne on this show, or else you're not on it.
Like an airport bottle?
No, like a bottle of champagne. We're drinking the whole bottle of champagne on the show.
I don't drink champagne. It makes my stomach hurt.
Next week. The awards show. Everyone tune in. It's been a pretty good year. COVID year. I mean, it's probably the highlight of the year, Perch.
Yeah,
Bro,
I'm just glad we had
for a COVID year, like, honestly, I think teams were more impacted by injuries than COVID-related.
Because they didn't get enough practice before the season, you think?
Dude, there was a lot of that.
And ESPN being terrible.
Yeah.
Hey,
So,
by the way, ESPN did correct that after 1 week. Unless someone else wants to remake the schedule on Yahoo and do all that bullshit, we're staying with ESPN.
it's hard to leave ESPN. Leaving ESPN
Someone
would be
wants
like
to do all that shit. Feel free. I'm
ESPN
not doing all that
like,
fucking shit.
would be me getting a fucking Android. Like, fuck that shit. I'm staying with my iPhone.
I agree. ESPN is the best platform. They do have the best platform. I have a Yahoo League on my phone, and it confuses me sometimes. I can't find playoff predictions. I can't find anything else like that. So,
right, and ESPN has improved over the years too. I will say that they've added some new.
And everyone dealt with it, man. It was a one-thing wonder. It sucked. Like, Will, if I was you, I would have been just as pissed. I was in a position to make fun of it, and I was trying to do a whole bit about Taysom Hill sucking. Everyone like fucking.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah,
it was. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. So,
water under the bridge, as they say.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Keep that integrity intact, because I don't want to have to decline it anymore. Keep your commission.
Dude, they keep trying.
What the fuck? I'm gonna hit decline every time, you rejects.
Hit decline every time, Troy. All right, Troy.
We'll gladly get a tattoo. Keep winning. We'll give it all up for Cleveland. Let's go.